So much. Thanks, you guys, for joining us. We're super excited. I believe it's March 25th, 2020. And Nikki Elsing here, registered dietitian, nutritionist, and wellness coach. And we also have Joanne Shearer Parkin on the call tonight. She also, or the Zoom tonight, she is also a registered dietitian. And I have some really good background I need to give you on both of us. So Joanne and I have been working together. I was just trying to think. I'd say maybe 18 years, almost 20 years, maybe.
Probably.
It's been a very long time, but we've had a lot of fun together. Some of you heard us chatting a little bit before we got started, and lots of good fun, and just really trying to get people to understand the importance of nutrition and the importance of optimizing their health and wellness. And Joanne and I worked together in a cardiovascular specialty hospital for over 10 years and absolutely loved it.
Yep.
We got to develop our own programs. We did a lot of media work, TV work, in the newspaper, just had a lot of fun. Great programs for community and also other healthcare professionals, physicians, just really thinking outside the box. And that has been our passion for years. And we used to have big dreams sitting in the office, and her and I together making plans as to how we could make this more effective for more people and get it in the laps of more people. And we never even knew this was coming, right? And all of a sudden, it was 9 years ago now, here this LifeVantage is in our lap, and we're talking about nutrigenomics that Joanne and I talked about forever, and inflammation and oxidative stress and how to improve your health by taking control of those things. Yes, and then we go to a meeting and learn more that by taking the appropriate supplements, we can do that. And so think of our heads and our hearts as we're talking about taking supplements to combine with the nutrition background we have to be able to get amazing results. And so tonight I'm going to kick it over to Joanne, and she's going to go through some amazing information with you. And I'm really, really excited that you're here. So thank you so much for joining us. And Joanne, why don't you just go ahead?
Thank you. Oh my goodness, Nikki. I remember when Nikki came to the hospital, and she was, fresh out of school. And she was this like little sponge. Nikki is just this lifelong learner. She just wanted to know and wanted to learn, just was so open. And so that was kind of unlike, some of the dietitians that were graduating from schools that had been, I don't want to talk the mainstream, whatever you get in college, right? Nikki was not like that. She really wanted to learn and grow. And so we just had a great journey together. Nikki was a great balance for me when we worked together, because I was, she was very strategic. She always thought ahead. She was great at planning, organizing, but she was just amazing. So she just kind of kept me really on track and really helped me so much. Thanks a lot, Nikki. It was a great fun ride working together. So yes, I'm Joanne Shearer Parkin, and yes, registered dietitian, have a master's degree in nutrition. And, I actually, today I was just thinking, I have been in this, I was 50 years, really coming on 50 years. Hard to believe it. That kind of tells you how old I am. Now you kind of get the idea, right? Age. But I have this kind of hashtag that I use, and it's hashtag aging backwards. And honestly, since I've been with LifeVantage, and since I've been taking these amazing products, as I've always really been into health and wellness, been trying to be ahead of the trends, really proactive, right, of my own personal health, I can say I think I have fewer, I feel better. I have more energy. I just finished playing a pickleball tournament, right? 70 plus age category, starts at 50. I was in the 70 plus. My husband, Jim, at 81, was my partner, right? And he was only one of 3 that were over 80. And there were only 20 out of 580 players that were over 70. Do you get the idea that what Jim and I are experiencing, and to be able to play pickleball in a pickleball tournament at our age is really, a pretty big deal, because we don't have a lot of the issues that a lot of people have at our age. We're really, really healthy and active. In fact, we have people coming up to us. I call them the kids, the 55-year-olds coming up to us and asking us, what are you guys, man, you're so quick with the ball. What are you guys doing? I mean, we have gotten a lot of, customers and distributors just because I feel like we are a product of our products. And so with that, I'm going to get started with that, share my desktop. I'm going to bring up a PowerPoint just to kind of help keep Nikki and I on track here. So if you just give me 1 second here, and I will get that up and going real quick here. So, by the way, I am in sunny Arizona. That's where I am. I'll get the slideshow going. So that's, we have an abundance of warmth and sunshine. And so we're just really, I'm really excited that I can work from home here in Arizona. It's just a blessing. Okay, so we're going to be talking tonight, Nikki and I are going to be talking to you about biohacking and the 3 theories of aging and how we do that through nutrigenomics. And Nikki started in the beginning and said, hey, we started learning about nutrigenomics 20 years ago. Nutrigenomics is how you can modify gene expression with nutrition, getting down to the levels of the genes. So this is a science of how you can modify genes with nutrition. So, many of you might have this kind of thinking, or maybe you're concerned because you think, oh my goodness, we have this history of heart disease in my family. You're thinking that you're doomed by your genes, but the good news is you're not, because the vast majority, something like 80–90% of your genes are modifiable. And so that's what you're going to learn tonight, is how you can modify your genes with nutrigenomics. Whoops, let me go back. Okay, so this is the 3 theories of aging that we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to talk about how you can activate these anti-aging pathways with nutrigenomic products and literally get your cells functioning and working like they were when you were much younger. Okay, so let's start with the first one, which is NRF2, which creates more garbage men to carry out the garbage in our cells. NRF1 will increases your cellular energy through increasing your mitochondria production. Excuse me. And the NAD sirtuin pathway, which literally is like the CEO of your cells and directs all of your cellular activity. So let's get started with one at a time here. So let's get started with talking about the Protandim NRF2, which is a flagship product from our company, which is LifeVantage. Excuse me, all of a sudden, got a little tickle there. So I'm going to take you back to 2005 when ABC News report, they picked up and ran an ABC News investigative report on the first study that was published by Dr. Joe McCord. Dr. Joe McCord was the formulator of Protandim NRF2. His study, human study that he published, showed that Protandim NRF2 lowered oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. Now, I knew when I first heard that seemed unbelievable. So anybody in the research medical field, when they hear that, ABC primetime, they thought that sounded unbelievable, how you could do that. So they sent the reporter, John Keonis, into Dr. Joe McCord's lab, and they drew his blood and tested him for something called T-bars, which is a marker of oxidative stress. That is also a marker of your cellular age, right? So they drew his blood. I'm not going to show the video, but I want you to, when you get off this webinar, I want you to go watch this video because it is mind-boggling. It's astounding. It's just really going to be, I think you'll be amazed as I was, right? Okay, so John Keolis, when they drew his blood, he took 1 yellow pill a day of Protandim NRF2. He came back 2 weeks later, and they found out that he had lowered his oxidative stress by 45% in 2 weeks. Remember, the study said a reduction of oxidative stress on an average of 40% in 30 days. So in other words, this healthy man had high oxidative stress. He looked healthy, very healthy guy, right? But he had oxidative stress. And he lowered his oxidative stress, as they say in the video, to that of a young child. Wow. So as you can imagine, when that aired, this little biotech company received like $4 or $5 million in orders the next month. But it wasn't until about 2007 that the Protandim Nerf 2 sat on the shelf in the retail stores. And the sales were not as much as they expected. And the problem with Protandim Nerf 2 in the retail stores is it was sitting on the shelf with the antioxidant vitamins. And what you're going to learn in this video, in this webinar, is that Protandim Nerf 2 is not, technically, it's not an antioxidant. It is a breakthrough, the first product in a new category of drugs and supplements called NRF2 Nerf 2 activators. And the other reason why it wasn't, the sales weren't to expectations was because the price was like $49.95 a bottle, was a vitamin C, bottle of vitamin C. Cheap, right? $8, $10 a bottle. So our company decided to switch marketing channels and switched over to the person-to-person marketing and distribution model of direct sales. And that's when the sales exploded. Our company now, 10 years later, this meager little company in the beginning, now is traded on the NASDAQ. We have a really terrific leadership. We also rang the bell, the closing bell on the NASDAQ just recently. We're invited to do that. And you know, that is really a special honor for our company that we would be recognized to do that. So great company that's just really with great leadership, as I said before. So let's talk a little more about oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is the stress. It's the damage to our cells that are done by toxic molecules called free radicals. So where do you get those free radicals? Well, you get those free radicals from inside your cells. Actually, you actually generate free radicals inside your cells when you burn glucose or sugar inside your cells. So think of free radicals as kind of exhaust in the cells, right? But you also get a boatload from your environment. And so environmental pollution and toxins and everything from car batteries to chemicals in food and in your environment, cell phones, right? All of this contributes to your oxidative stress. So that is literally the rusting of your body and your cells starts to break down. So this apple gives you a really good example about what happens with oxidative stress and how it leads to premature aging. So the apple there, see that as it goes along? Look at your cells on the as well. So cell starts out, you're young and healthy cells when you're younger, and then as they get attacked by the free radicals, they deteriorate. And so that leads to a breakdown in your cells and in your body, leads to aging. So what are you going to do about this oxidative stress? What are you going to do about combating all these free radicals? Well, another term for those free radicals is oxidants. Now you know why the big buzz, and like, I don't know, 30, 40 years now, has been antioxidants, because antioxidants will neutralize the free radicals before they do damage to your cells. Now, you may not know this or heard this before, but there are two sources of antioxidants. We have the direct ones we get in food and supplements. And then we also have antioxidants that our cells make, cellular antioxidants. There's a huge difference in the potency of the two. The direct antioxidants will neutralize free radicals at a ratio of 1:1. The cellular antioxidants like catalase, glutathione, SOD, these neutralize the free radicals at a ratio of 1:1,000,000. So it's the difference between putting a Dixie cup of water on a house fire or having a fire hose in every room of your house. So that's where Protandim Nerf 2 comes in. It is a cellular activator. It activates your cells. It speaks to your genes. Make more antioxidants. So this is a whole different way of thinking. And you're not supplementing with antioxidants. You're asking your cells, you're activating your cells to make them. Remember that. You are making antioxidants. I tell people that the antioxidant enzymes in your cells are like the best medicines available that you have, right? They're there. You just need to get your cells activated to make them. And not only does it lower that oxidative stress very significantly, but also helps support your cellular repair and rejuvenation process in your cells. And also, we now have the science and the evidence that Protandim Nerve 2 is the only dietary supplement that has been studied by the National Institutes of Health to significantly extend lifespan. And how does Protandim Nerve 2 work? Well, the 5 ingredients combined in very low doses create a synergy. You might have heard that word before. The action of the individual nutrients. The sum of all these is greater than the action of them individually. You can see on your screen here, you see these little bump ups of the antioxidant enzymes here with the individual nutrients. But look what happens when you put those 5 ingredients combined together at a specific ratio, 1,800 times more effective. Huge. And so how do we know this works? Well, because we have 26 peer-reviewed scientific studies. You can go read about them at a website called pubmed.gov. That is P-U-B as in boy, M-E-D as in dog.gov. And also our formula is protected by numerous patents, both US patents and foreign patents. And this is what really impressed me was the scientific validation. I think Nikki will tell you too, that this really was impressive. When we joined, Nikki and I joined LifeVantage, there was only like 7 studies. And a cardiologist that I was working with at the specialty heart hospital where I was working was the one who introduced us to me. And he was wowed and so impressed with the scientific validation on Protandim Nerve 2. And like I said, back in 2011 when we joined, there were 7. Now we have 26. And look at the prestigious research centers that have published studies on Protandim Nerve 2. It's very, very impressive. One of the studies that was published, and this is a study that was a review paper on Nerve 2, and this is not a study specific to Protandim Nerve 2, but it's about the science of NRF2 activation. And these Washington State University researchers published this review paper, and they say that Nerve 2 is going to be the most extraordinary therapeutic preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. So remember, I said when we started out that Protandim Nerve 2 is a breakthrough in this new category of drugs and supplements called NRF2 activators. There now are a couple of prescription drugs that are on the market now, but Protandim Nerve 2 in head-to-head comparison is twice as potent as, for example, as the MS drug Tecfidera, which is a Nerve 2 activator drug. So really, you're getting so much benefit in just one little yellow pill a day. Okay, so our company, they continue to research in this area of activating anti-aging pathways with nutrigenomic products. And about 5 years ago, I would say now 4 or 5 years ago, they brought to market Protandim NRF1. This activates a different pathway, and it speaks to the genes, and it tells our genes to make more mitochondria. Mitochondria are the powerhouse of our cells. This is where all of our energy factors are stored, is in the mitochondria. So as we get older, oxidative stress starts destroying them. And if you lose all your cellular energy, that can really break down your body overall, leading to aging as well. So this product helps to grow them back. It's called mitochondria biogenesis. And it works very similar in like Protandim Nerve 2, 5 herbals and nutrients combined in very low doses that create the synergy and activate that Nerve1 pathway, right? Awesome. Now, the last one of our synergizer and nutrigenomic activators is the Protandim NAD synergizer. The Protandim NAD synergizer increases the production of some powerful, potent anti-aging proteins and genes in our cells called sirtuins. The research on sirtuins really started way back many years ago when researchers were studying about the health benefits of severe caloric restriction. And what they found is that with severe caloric restriction, the health benefits were related to the increase of these proteins called sirtuins. So now we have Protandim NAD Synergizer, which mimics that the same benefits as severe caloric restriction by increasing those sirtuins, just as well. You get what, 94% with caloric restriction, Protandim NAD 100%, and look how we blow the competition out of the water. So what are the benefits of Protandim NAD? Wow, for everything, brain, energy, supports your body's healthy inflammatory response, maintains your cholesterol levels in a healthy range, and supports a healthy vascular system. So supports your vascular system, your brain health, and so many different areas of your body, orchestrates all the critical cellular functions within your cells. So when our company brought NAD to market just here about 4 or 5 months ago, our scientists thought, well, what would happen if we were to take these 3 products together? What kind of a nutrigenomic effect would we get? What kind of modification could we get of gene expression when we put these 3 together? Well, the results, I think, even astounded our science officer when they saw this. So let me just give you one example over here on the left-hand side. And so let's look here when see that gene that on the left hand says NRF2 gene, HMOX1, the healthy inflammatory response gene. So just Protandim NRF2 alone increases that by 51%. But look what happens when you add the NAD synergizer and the NRF1 synergizer. You get 848%. Wow. When I saw this, I thought, this is fantastic. I need to get the word out to the people that I know and love in my life, and so that they can take advantage of the combination of what these nutrigenomics can do for your overall health. Okay, so with that, I am going to turn now this back over to Nikki, and she's going to talk about the other products in our product catalog. So Nikki, go ahead and take it away.
Joanne, that was fabulous, like always. Now you guys see when she says I was a sponge? Now you know why I wanted to be a sponge. I've always said I'm just soaking up everything you're throwing at me. And I've heard her do this so many times, and every time I learn something else. So thank you so much, Joanne.
You're welcome.
I really want to talk to you guys about those studies that Joanne was mentioning too. That's what caught our attention, and that's why we're here. She talked a lot about being very impressed by the studies, very impressed by the places that were doing the studies. And that literally is the reason why Joanne and I are sitting here talking to you tonight, because there are a lot of other products on the market that just don't have the research that we have to back them up. So we're really, really proud of that. So let's talk about immunity and gut health, guys. Everybody's talking about immune systems. Everybody's talking about trying to make sure they stay healthy, right? And I don't know about you, but I want my immunity to be as high as I can. And one of the things that I've learned over the years is that starts in your gut. And so being able to have a good immune system, 80% of that is in your gut, you guys. And so we really want to make sure that we're doing what we can to keep that gut healthy. So how do we do that? Well, a lot of you have heard about probiotics and prebiotics. They talk about it a bunch, but I have to tell you that there's a big difference. I've done a lot with gastroenterology work in the past too, not only working at a heart hospital, but also did some moonlighting at a gastroenterology office. And the right probiotic is essential. Not only do you want a variety of strains, but you also want to make sure that it gets past that stomach acid to do the work that it's supposed to do. Unfortunately, and you see those little pie charts on the side, unfortunately, the majority of probiotics do not have that BioTrack technology. And when they don't have the BioTrack technology, which is basically something that gets it past that stomach acid to get where it's supposed to be used, then you're throwing away basically 96% of that product that you just took. So you think, if you spent $40 on that product, you just know that 96% of that is going to go away, and that's no good. If you're talking to me, that's no good, and I'm sure you agree with me. And so when we look at BioTrack technology, we know that 60 to 65% of that is actually getting past and doing what it's supposed to be doing. So not only do we want to make sure we have that getting to where it needs to be. We want to make sure that it's there to do its job, but we also, wouldn't it be cool if it could help to make us less hungry, make it so that we can actually have our brain go, hey, Nikki, stop eating, you're full. That's great, right? All the years when I was counseling patients, some of them said, you know what, I've never known what it's like to feel full. I've never had my brain and my belly have a conversation. And so that's another good spot too. It also has a really nice ability to keep that, all the junctions in your belly as it's kind of going through nice and tight, so stuff's not going where it's not supposed to. And when we do that, we win. And so making sure that we remember that. So our probiotic is the good bacteria getting into your belly. And then we have our prebiotic, which is basically a little powder that you can mix with water. It's a blood orange flavor. And this is going to be the sunlight, the food, the water, the great soil to be able to get that bacteria to do everything you want it to do. So it's a really nice combination to make sure that everybody's thinking about, especially with all the things that we have going on. So the next thing I want to tell you about is fish oils. And I laugh because I honestly could say all of our products are my favorite. I feel like I say that every time, but as fish oils, this has been huge for me. I know, and Joanne as well, coming from a cardiovascular background, we've been talking fish oils forever. We've had a lot of awesome ones, and we've had a lot of ones that were like, ooh, not so good. And when we've had the awesome ones, we thought they were really great until we cut them open. And then we're like, oh gosh, this is not as stable as we prefer, right? And so these oils are very unstable, so they have to be handled very well. And if you've ever cracked open a thing of fish oils and went, man, this doesn't smell so good, then it's not at the optimal time to be consuming that. You want it to be as fresh as it possibly can be. And I triple dog dare you, if you purchase our omega-3 or our omega supplement, to pop it in your mouth and bite it, and you will taste just a nice lemony, barely any little tiny, if anything, bit of fish visible. And I can tell you 100% that the people at my house, that's the way they do it. I just swallow it, but you can chew it if you'd like. But what's the big deal about fish oils and omega plus? So we have that fatty acid and the vitamin D mixed together, and we're knowing that we are able to support all kinds of things. We're talking skin, we're talking immune system again there, brain, cardiovascular health, just a great combination. So this next slide tells you a little bit more about our last few products. We have, there's a whole lot on this slide, guys, but bear with me. The top left one is our skincare system. There's a lot of good research about NRF2 and being able to be protective in cancer situations. And think about our skin. I know that when I'm out in the sun, I get a little sun damage, and that's like my first line of defense. And if I want to have something to be able to protect me the most, I want something good on my skin. It also absorbs everything, and we want to make sure that what we're putting on there is not going to be something that's damaging to our system. And so we have a really good NRF2 activated skincare line. And it's really interesting because I use it with my teenagers, I use it myself. I really, really like what it's done for me. And you see that gal up there with some great before and after pictures. We also have our NRF2 activated hair care system. And now when we're looking at hair care, we're looking at skin care. I want to brag a little bit about our Think Dirty number. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that, but that's an app that you have on your phone, and you can scan different products that you have in your house. And I think you'll be very surprised. It will tell you how clean or how dirty based on the ingredients, like how good they are for you, right? Or how little you have to worry about it. So the lower the number, the better. The higher number, not so good. And I believe it goes to 10. And some of the items I thought were like really, really good, I scanned, I'm like, oh my gosh, those aren't any good at all. But I'm happy to report that our skincare and our hair care are like the lowest they can be at 1s and 2s. So that's really something that I like to brag about. And a really good result when people are using the products. Now, as a dietitian, I'm guessing that you can imagine that I was excited when we talked about a weight management system. And guess what, you guys? Here's the deal. I counseled people forever about belly fat and inflammation, right? And you heard Joanne talk about a healthy inflammatory response. That's the big deal. Is we want our body to still have a healthy inflammatory response, but we just don't want too much. We know that when people have more belly fat, that's dangerous. And guess what? We have a system that works to target belly fat, and not just the belly fat that we're like, oh, whatever hangs over our pants. We're talking the mean, nasty stuff that's all embedded deep in your organs too, or not in your organs, but around your organs, right? That's that visceral fat. We used to think that just kind of sits there, but we know that it actively seeks out trouble. So we want to do what we can to decrease that, right? So this is the bad news of the presentation. By the time you see it over your pants, you already have accumulated a lot more inside that we need to work on getting rid of. So we focus a lot on gut health because we know if your gut's healthy, we can help to be able to, like I said, have that great communication. So our probiotic is part of this. I still think our prebiotic is part of this, and we have a really good protein powder. So if you guys like protein powder, this is another thing that Joanne and I have had a lot of over the years, samples. And we love ours because it mixes really easily. There's 18 grams of protein in a scoop. That's awesome. The whey protein we feel is really, really great for being able to maintain lean muscle mass and to give you a really bioavailable type of protein to be able to just fuel yourself well. And one of my favorite things in this category too is our fat burn. And that's the one that's going to be working on that central weight. The fat burn product is non-stimulating. It's just a really good combination of products to be able to help your body work to be able to burn fat for you all day. And then on the bottom right, I'm just noticing as I'm looking at this screen, everything is blue and white. Look at those pretty colors, all nice and complementary. But the pet tandem kind of came about when people started giving like their hunting dogs and their dogs our Protandem NRF2 that Joanne was mentioning. Remember that? And what happened was these dogs were having really good results, and people were like, hey, this is really doing amazing things, but it's hard to get that pill in these dogs, right? And so they put together a tablet. They added in a few other things for joint health, also a little bit of fish oils, and really made an awesome combination in our pet tandem to be able to help those dogs live their best life. Because as we know, they are aging at a much higher rate than us. And I probably, and how many other people, spend a lot of money on their pets because they just love them, right? They're part of the family. And so this is another way to be able to ensure that they're well taken care of as well. So our last product that I want to mention is our Axio. And you guys, I don't even know where to start with this one because I have seen really, really good things in people with this. And I have two different aspects and two different thoughts on this product. So initially when it came out, we talked about it as an energy type of a drink, more of a smart energy, and I call it an executive focus drink. So really helping you with focus. I say like get up off the couchness, whatever that is, getting to work kind of stuff. And that was something that myself, I've been working from home for 6 years almost now. And now some of you are experiencing it. And sometimes it's easy not to work, right, when you're at home. And this helps me to get going. And it's nice and safe. And I love it the most. Check out that one, the second from the bottom. Clean, low calorie, low carb, vegan, BSCG. What the heck is that? Banned substance control group approved for athletes. Athletes love it. A lot of the college athletes are big users in my organization. Free of artificial colors, artificial flavors, artificial sweeteners, none of the yuck stuff. That's huge. No added sugars, GMOs, and gluten. So this is like the clean of the clean. And I want to tell you, back when I was seeing patients, one of the hard things was to get people to have something decent to drink. And so not only is it great for executive focus, but it's just a great drink to have anyway. Most of the time you can't find anything that tastes good and doesn't have either high fructose corn syrup or artificial sweeteners in there. And when we're looking at this, that's what we have. And so definitely looking at it for both purposes. So great for weight management as well. So now when you're looking at this, you know, there's always options to be customers. We love our customers. We also love our distributors. And so if you're sitting there thinking and going, hey, you know what, I know my mom, my dad, my uncle, my sister, my friend, if you're Rolodexing all these things in your brain like I did when I heard about it, think about being a distributor, because this is an amazing time to be able to think about other people and taking care of other people. It's also something that I can tell you 100% that I daily thank my lucky stars that I have this business. However, in the last 2 weeks, it almost makes me cry just thinking about it. So There's different levels to be able to join the company, and the person that invited you onto the webinar tonight can give you more information. But basically, this is your chance to get products at a discount. And so keep in mind, we all pay the same amount, whether we're distributors or customers, but when you first join, that's the ideal part of the Platinum Pack, is you're getting, I think it's about a 30 to 35% discount on products when you're purchasing it in the Platinum Pack version. And so if you can't decide what the heck things you want to have or which ones you don't want, that's a great opportunity to get everything all at once. So a couple different options there, and you can definitely let the other person know what you're thinking. Now, Joanne, can you give us a little bit of ideas on this S-curve and this whole business thing?
Yeah, you bet, Nikki. I'll take over from here. So I remember when I first joined LifeVantage, and this was back in, like I said, in 2011, LifeVantage was just, just struggling. They were in what they call that pioneering phase of the Drucker business curve. That is right here, the Drucker business S curve. And they, as you know, most new businesses don't survive, after 3 to 5 years. And so LifeVantage has moved through that. And they are moving up this curve, and they now, they're about here. They are not yet have hit this black dot, which they call branding or critical mass, and that's when the momentum will really take off. Now, for those of you that are thinking, hey, right now, I'm thinking about a plan B, because with everything that's going on right now is that, there's Main Street businesses that are closed. There's a lot of uncertainty going on. And so if you're there and you're thinking, I really kind of need something that I need to do that can provide me some leveraged income. Well, consider LifeVantage and the opportunity that's provided here, because you just heard from Nikki and from me that we have these amazing, awesome science-based products that are very unique. We don't have a lot of competition there's no competition in our Tri-Synergizer category. It's like you would be the only store on the block, with a unique product. So, there's just still a time for you to be an early adopter and to really get in, because we know with business, it's timing, right? Timing is everything. So better to get in early than late. So I'm very thankful that I joined when I did, because when I joined LifeVantage, I was recently widowed. My husband of 32 years had passed away from brain cancer. And I was thinking I was going to be stuck in my windowless office well into my 70s, and I was only 60 at the time when my husband passed away. So this was 10 years ago. But then I had that blessing that day when Dr. Mark Gordon came and invited me to a LifeVantage presentation. Now, I was really super, super busy. I didn't think I had time to do this business. I had a very full plate. I was running my husband's real estate business, working more than 40 hours at the hospital. But I did get started, and I just tried to be consistent with putting in some effort every week, some consistent effort. And it was amazing how this kind of took off, because I just started. Nikki talked about those enrollment packs. When you get one of those enrollment packs, you get a distributor e-commerce website for free, and you get a distributor ID. And so then what you do is you just send your customers to your website, your distributors. They order through your website, the company takes over, and they ship the product. When Dr. Gordon told me that, I thought, I think I can do that. Just send them the ABC Primetime Investigative Report. If they like it, they can go order. Wow. And so when that happened, then the company started sending me checks, because we get paid. They pay us to build this network. Our company does this network of customers and distributors. And there are 8 different ways that our company pays us. And I'm not going to go into that part of the program. If you're really interested in knowing more about the comp plan, and you're a guest listening to this webinar, then get back to the person who invited you and get your questions answered about the comp plan, because it is generous. Our company kind of blows away the myth that only people who are at the top in a network marketing company make the money? Because you can just look at the screen on the far right, this column, this is the monthly average that's paid out to distributors at different ranks in our company. And this is actual data from 2018-19. So you can see at this, see the Pro 3, 4, 5, and even like the 6, look at it, starts at 636, goes up to 6,251 at these mid ranks of our company. Many households right now, I know, would just love to have an extra $636 coming in right now. It would make a difference in their lives right now, just to have some leveraged income that our company offers. And so Nikki, anything else you wanted to add about the compensation and your journey with LifeVantage?
You know, as being someone who's never been in network marketing before and trying to just figure out how to do this, the beauty is it's all duplication, and it's, you know, following what people that have been successful and have done this before me, following them, and knowing that all of the background stuff, like the corporate things, the advertising, the marketing, the, you know, the details of shipping in the warehouse, and all updating my website, I don't have to do any of that. So that was a relief to me to make sure and have that easily accessible to me once I decided to be a distributor. So that's probably all I have to add.
Right, and just the fact that we are working from home, that we already have this established home-based business, which right now many people are, you know, they're advising people work from home. So we're just feeling that we're really blessed that we dug the well before we were thirsty. So, okay, so with that, I'm going to winding down, and I'm going to be closing on this webinar. And so I just really want to summarize, just really get what you learned today. And I know that you're probably going to have more questions, of course, so please get back to the person who invited you. But what did you learn today? You learned that LifeVantage is a company that is at the forefront of nutrigenomics, specializing in nutrigenomic products, which are cellular activators that activate anti-aging pathways that get your cells working and functioning back to where they were when you were much younger. So basically just literally slowing down aging. Think of a good example of that. So we talked about the NERV2 activator, which lowers oxidative stress by activating our cells to make antioxidants. They carry out the garbage in the cell, right? Clean up the cells, protect your cells. The NRF1 activator, it restores your energy factories, those mitochondria, to get you more energy. NAD sirtuin pathway, that pathway that organizes, and it's like the CEO of your cells and directs all the critical functions of your cells. And so along with that, we have, Nikki talked about all those other, you know, fabulous products in our product catalog. And so we're also offering to you really an opportunity to generate some leveraged income for your family. And I, you know, for like what this company did for me, you know, helped me to retire early. So whatever your financial goals and dreams might be, this is an opportunity. Now, it may not be for you. This may not be for you, but for some of you out there that are really looking, we've got a great support system. We do have people, I look at, you know, Nikki and I, there's a lot of Nikkis and a lot of Joannes out there that are here to help you to be successful. So if you're a guest here on the webinar, whether you're watching live or you're watching the recording, please get back to the person who invited you. Get your questions answered. Are you looking for better health? Well, definitely you want to get started with our products. Which of those interest you the most? You know, hey, are you looking for a plan B? Learn more about our business opportunity. And last, maybe you just need more information, right? You just have a lot of questions. Well, that's fantastic. We want you to get your questions answered. So with that, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to end the webinar. And I really want to thank everybody for coming on. It's just been, it's been a joy to be with you here tonight. I thank you very much. I'm going to turn it back over to Tanya. Do you want to end this sign off? Sonia.
You guys did an incredible job. I just love how you tag team together. So, and I love how you recap, Joanne. So again, like she said, just get back to the person that invited you to take a look at this information, let them know where you're at, and then they can guide you accordingly to help you make the best decision for you. Thanks so much. Have a great night or a great day. Bye-bye.
Everybody.
Good night. Thanks, you guys.